The lock of water. Oh, hi everybody. I'm Di, and I've got two wonderful, gorgeous women on the right and the left. This is Ngan.
Hi.
This is Catherine.
Hello.
And we're from Dawn. This is our first live streaming program today, and we just thought that we'd come in together and talk about Harmony Day in the context of COVID-19 or coronavirus. We had a lot to discuss about. So Catherine and I have worked in the corporate sector, and obviously we've witnessed a silence around the whole Harmony Day event, and we thought we'd have a discussion about it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, Harmony Day. Well, Happy Harmony Day.
Today's Harmony Day.
Disharmony, wherever in the world you are. Yeah, so just coming from corporate space with Westpac previously, there's just a lot of activity, a lot of campaigns around this particular day. Also in the government sector as well, there's
absolutely
a lot as well. And I can see that you're wearing orange today, which is the colour of harmony.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just all crickets this year, and we were discussing before that it's quiet because I think people feel really guilty about celebrating any sort of occasion because of basically the shitstorm that we've been seeing since the beginning of the year, or from the end of last year with the bushfires and floods, and now coronavirus.
So we were just saying that obviously leading up to Harmony Day, often we would see in the public space, as Catherine mentioned, corporate, government, will be championing Harmony Day. But obviously Australia has had a few crises over the last 6 months, from starting with the bushfire, following that is the flooding. And of course now everybody globally is confronted with the COVID-19. And one of the initiatives that Dawn has obviously set up and started is the Southwest Entrepreneurial Hub, and it's about encouraging businesses to leverage off one another, and Ngan is part of that. And we were talking about how really the community, there's so much fear out there, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely a lot of fear. Like I can't help it but go on Facebook all the time, because I'm just curious about how people are behaving as well, and it's just crazy. And I know that it's not very healthy to just keep on scrolling through social media. I think it just brings it out in humanity, this whole chaos, and people just really acting strange. I know you're probably sick to death of talking about toilet paper, but toilet paper is a classic example of something that has just gone out of hand, and people are just basically fighting in supermarkets, and just really forgetting about being humankind.
I think right now, from what I can see and from a different point of view, I think we have to just return to love, because that's the opposite of fear, right? Return to what you know to be true for you, the values that you hold, and come together as a community. And that's where we can create harmony, to be able to just reach out a helping hand and be kind and compassionate to one another. The people in the community who are really suffering, I guess, or are at more risk are the elderly. So, there's a lot of things that we can do to actually maybe perhaps stop thinking about ourselves. Sometimes I might get a lot of backlash for this, but a lot of this chaos that's happening right now is you're thinking about yourself. What's going to happen to me? But if we decide to actually step out of that and look beyond your circle, I mean, definitely the only thing that you can control is within your circle of influence, but
and control your emotions as well. I know that for people, there's no doubt, if you have not experienced loss, if you have not experienced near death, for instance, if you have not experienced kind of when you've lost everything,
like huge trauma in your
yeah,
life.
huge trauma in your life, then this absolutely this is kind of frightening the hell out of everybody. I think, as we said before, we're not experts in the area of the virus, but very cognizant and very aware of the impact of that disease, or that virus, not a disease, virus, on the elderly and those with low immunity. How do we ensure that people get that message of keeping safe, of ensuring that you don't, well, there's now legislation, so there's now an order for no gatherings of more than 100 people. We're only 3 people here.
At keeping our distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's not the 2 meters or 1.5 meters, but we are, we believe
Mindful.
we're healthy. Yeah. We're mindful,
and we've practiced common sense.
That's right. Yeah. We've basically used we've washed our hands. We've had hand sanitizers. However, I think that how do you practice health, safety, and harmony? The same time, and how to be thoughtful and be mindful of people in the community who might need help. And you were saying before, the cost of groceries have gone up, vegetables and all that stuff.
Like yes. I mean, it's good to acknowledge that everyone is impacted one way or another, but to actually use our own degree of privilege to help others that are in need. So yesterday, like it can be even small things. It's not like, you're trying to change the world or anything. It could be just like yesterday I got my nails done. How indulgent. But like they were just so thankful I was there. It was just like they were about to cry. And I paid by cash, and I normally use card, but it's just those little things like cash. Like it's just, some people might not think it is much, but for them it means a lot with their cash flow, so that they can pay for their staff. And then just supporting small businesses,
and small businesses are going to be impacted the most. The restaurants, the food beverages, those businesses, people aren't, there's no more, I mean, you've got a bakery, no more foot traffic.
It's decreased. So just having the conversation with my parents about that, and right now their business is still doing okay, but maybe he just doesn't want to worry us, I don't know. So that's another thing as well. But I'm mindful of it, like Nam and I, we have been going out to small businesses and eating in their eateries, because it's just, you want to be able to support people, and quite right now it's just empty.
And I know there's been people on various social media platforms that I'm on, such as LinkedIn and Facebook. There's one a person at LinkedIn, I think he's based in Melbourne, who said, go out and support your local restaurant and eat there. But then, some people said, well, you're being irresponsible. It's time of isolation. And so therefore you got to then use common sense. Are you sick? Have you been exposed to somebody who's sick, or been coming back from overseas? They've got a fever. Are your circle 6 degrees of separations? Are they anybody actually have had that kind of contact? Then of course you should then isolate if you do. But if you have none of that, then I think if you can, in a safe environment, I think go. I still go. I still went this morning and bought some bread rolls. There was a queue lining up. It wasn't one, people were still lining up to buy bread, and just being mindful of that. But really, I think it's a challenging time, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Supply chain up to, corporate, small business, everybody's going to be impacted. And how do we, really maintain harmony in such a climate? It's a really challenge. And I think for us, we talk about, you talk about love. I know people might think, oh God, at this time of the day, I talk about love. That's just such a woo-woo.
Zappy and airy-fairy.
Just put a rom-com on.
But it really isn't
It's
that.
true.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
opposite to the fear is, okay, if I return to what's true for me and my values, like what's important here. That's what I mean by returning to love. You know, and if you think about it, love is as an emotion is pure. So if we actually come from that space, then you know, I think that there in itself is harmony.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and also recognizing that everyone goes through their own journey as well. So someone may look like they have everything together, but deep down they might have some chronic illness or a disability. Like, you just don't know what everyone's story is. So no matter what someone looks like, I think we should all treat each other with kindness and respect as much as possible, and also respect ourselves and like take some time out to do something for ourselves, because it is a really stressful time. I've just downloaded a couple of audio books. I'm looking forward to digging into that, but it's something that for my brain, it's always on. So having an audio book is kind of like my way of switching off. Yeah.
So I'm sure there are, we probably sent out a few tips on how to care for yourself in this period. Obviously, it's a period whereby it really impacts everybody, no matter how healthy you are emotionally, mentally, the mental and well-being. Because at times I think for myself, I'm okay, but when there are people around me who are really hyped up about coronavirus, you can't be here, you can't be there, no matter how strong you are, you still get impacted. You think, oh my God, am I being irresponsible
or naive? Yeah.
And what can I put in place to ensure that I'm not irresponsible and naive, and taking the seriousness of this whole coronavirus, COVID-19, but at the same time not stop living, so you continue to live in a responsible and mindful and caring way. I think it's gonna pour a lot of our, because I think we've been working, I think our society is kind of like on this treadmill, just working, producing.
Yeah, just go. But then, like, this gives us time to sit back and rethink the way we do things, the way we do processes and what's not working, and basically to get rid of that if it's not working.
Yeah, I think it's just an opportunity right now to recreate a new normal, which is really going to, take advantage and really draw out the human spirit.
Yeah, that's the word, drawing it out of you. Yes, you have to really,
draw out. I'll give you my human. Draw out the love.
Draw out, giving, because otherwise you can, this self-isolation can be quite isolated. You can isolate yourself too much.
Yeah.
The problem with, I think, isolation sometimes is that you then rely so much on, how do you stay connected at a time of isolation, and make sure that you're connecting with the right people, make sure that you're connecting with the right information, and make sure you don't get overwhelmed with the information that you see on the news, on social media, and really educate yourself, and in terms of gathering the information.
Yeah, from credible people, not Wikipedia or something like that.
Yeah. Just be so mindful of that. I know many people out there are probably wondering what to do next, what's going to happen with their business, what's going to happen, with themselves, their health and well-being.
I think just ask for help, hey?
Yes,
I think
that's
like
really powerful.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and it's actually a strength to ask for help, particularly in these times. Like, in isolation, it can be really confronting for a lot of people. But just ask for help if you need help with a business plan or marketing plan or whatever it is. Just use this time and build that discussion around it. Like, just keep business going, keep the momentum going. And just on that, I was talking to a lady yesterday. She's from regional Western Australia, and they are isolated all the time because they're in regional, so they are really digitally savvy. And this whole coronavirus situation, yes, it is a serious matter, but it doesn't bother them because they are already isolated. And they've been on the digital platforms for a very, very long time. So they are, and a lot of community spirit as well. Much stronger than, ironically, here in Metro, where we're so close to each other, yet we don't talk to each other.
And regional, they've been through a lot as well.
They've been through so much shit, and it's just, we can learn so much from them. And then when I was talking to her, she was just like saying how there's a lot of myths about people who are in regional, that they are not smart enough or tech savvy, but they are. They would like, I don't know, they're really tech savvy. They've done it for many, many years.
They could give me a few pointers.
They can do like a VLOOKUP or something like that on Excel.
But when we're here, I suppose, if you're a part of the Sway or the Dawn network, I think we're able, they can reach out to us, you can chat to us. We're not expert in terms of, in terms of the health space, but in terms of providing some sort of guidance, connecting you with the right person, expert who can assist you in your business, or connecting you with the right person who can you can talk to, that you can actually share your story, and that way can guide you through this really challenging, and I tell you, very challenging times for many, many, many people. So
we're here to help. Just call me, maybe.
So click on, or no, you can't click on anything, but send us a message, through our Facebook on Dawn or Sway.
Give us a like,
subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are.
Put some nice comments as well.
And we hope, provide us with some comments back about what your perspectives and what your experiences are currently. Maybe we can learn from you as well. So for us, it's about learning as much as giving.
Supporting.
So we're here to learn as well, and so that we can share it to the wider community, because that's important. So it's time to bring together on Harmony Day to send out this message of harmony to everybody out there, that this too shall pass, and we are in this together.
Bye.
Bye.